Okay, thank you. Hello everyone. Thank you for joining our Chan class for Asia. It's nice to see you. I see familiar faces. This is year end for us, the end of the year, so we're preparing to start our winter cheese. Tomorrow we get started. So this is the last official Chan class for Asia for the year. So it's been a good year. Thank you all very much for participating and cultivating, right? So this is your last chance because after this, we will be engaged. We will start I think 7 weeks of cultivation, 1 week of Buddha recitation for Qi, starting tomorrow afternoon, and then after 7 days, we start immediately our Chan Qi for about 6 weeks. So this class will be suspended until the end, till next year, I believe. Don't know when. For sure, after Lunar New Year, we begin again. And so now is your last chance to ask questions, if you might have. If not, you still can ask questions every single night here. California time, I think we have Dharma talks every night or lecture every night at around 7:20 or so for about an hour and a half. And so you can still ask questions as you wish. All right. Today is kind of interesting. I went to lunch. I came to lunch here in our new building. Our building now is open for business. It's a new dining area, and on the way over, I saw a crazy woman who said, whatever. She insisted on talking to me. And you know me, I'm very conservative. My parents told me not to talk to strangers. So I said, no, you can't talk to me. I don't know you. And it turns out, I knew her. I don't recall her. I think someone told me that she was from Blue Mountain Temple era, where she came and she was suffering a lot, so I taught her a little bit. And she's more interested in pursuing our women, I think. Anyway, none of my business. Whatever you live in your life, it's your life. None of my business. But since she's kept on coming, and so I made a few suggestions, and basically I told her that she should not be practicing by herself the way that she does. She did, and she would get in trouble. And sure enough, after a while, she still refused to listen. So I basically told her, you shouldn't come anymore, okay? Because now you're infecting the rest of my students. Can you imagine a Blue Mountain Temple? We're small, we're desperate, and me turning away people? See, the sacrifices I had to make for you. And she continued to come for a while, and then she disappeared. Now she came back. And the funny thing is that after all this time, she's in a demonic state. And that's what happens when you practice on your own. You're doing things wrong, and you don't listen. This is what you have to be careful about. Especially when you practice meditation, you should not do it on your own. Because Chan meditation, you practice vigorously, like the way we teach our people, if you don't get protection, if no one watches over you and makes corrections, it's like this, folks. It's like driving a car. You drive on the highway, very high speed, and you notice you're always making adjustments like this constantly, don't you? If you didn't, you go off on the cliff, right? That's what happens when you practice Chan. You know, we're constantly helping you make adjustments, okay? Because without that adjustments, you didn't know. This is what happened to so many people I saw, my own disciples, people who I met in Korea and so forth. These people, they have some accomplishments, but they don't realize that they are getting in quicksand, and they don't even know they're stuck. This is what happens because part of the job that we do for you is to help you make adjustments so that you don't get in trouble, okay? If you don't get in trouble, then at the speed you're going, you can get to your destination a lot quicker, okay? So it's always trade-offs. You want to play it safe, don't work hard, don't work vigorously like the way we do, like American Chan. We actually are pretty intensive, a lot more than people realize. I keep on telling you that, but no one seems to believe me. You may say, I go to Gaobinci, I go to Gold Mountain, China, and so forth. I go to, much Xunhua temples. The speed they're going is very slow compared to us. So this is why he have to watch over you. And so this lady here got into a demonic state, and I didn't do anything. I was watching to see how my disciples would learn to handle it. You see, I used to run around. I used to roam around from temples to temples and places to places, meeting this master versus the other masters and so forth. Because I was just curious. I said, wow, this is how people cultivate in Taiwan, in Korea, in Vietnam, in, so forth. And I wanted to know what is their kind of Buddhism. At the same time, I was looking for a good known advisor as well. Okay, so I looked everywhere. I read everywhere. Everything. And so now we are too busy. Our people cannot afford to roam around anymore. And I think they learn a lot more here than wasting the time roaming around. And the funny thing is now, trouble come to us, like during a Chan Chi or before the Chan Chi, after the Chan Chi. They do things to discourage people and prevent them from coming and so forth, and cause doubt in your mind. And so, this crazy person, because she practiced wrong, wouldn't listen to anyone. And she came over and she tried to dump her in our temple. I didn't say anything. And so I watched to see what my disciples would do. And so the abbot here talked to her a little bit, calm her down a little, okay. So to show her that we're not scared of, show the demon we're not scared of it, okay. And then after lunch, we joke around a lot about it. We have fun. We try to have fun a little bit at lunch. And I told my youngest nun available, I said, we probably don't need you for the Fo Chi. Someone willing to sacrifice you. Would you like to go talk to her? We talked around. We had to decide, who can we spare? And all of my brave nuns, they said, no, not me. I'm too busy. You need me. And I believed it. So in our system, the senior people get to choose first. So what's left is the least senior person. So I look at her and said, you should go talk to her. I didn't tell her what about either. She went and talked to her. And as a layman here, I was also backing her up. I walked by, I happened to see her from afar. I told the layman, and he backed off like 20,000 miles away. Before back there, he came over and said, hey, Master asked for you to back off. I said, no. I said, you back off. She's okay. And after somehow she made it back, that nun. I would look at her. I said, what did you talk to her? I said, oh, I talked to her, I said, you can't stay here, and so forth, please leave, and so forth. And I said, did you have sympathy for her? She said, yeah, I have sympathy for her. She's suffering. I said, oh. I forgot to tell you that when you meet these possessed people, if you have an iota of sympathy for that person, it's like you're opening the door and the ghost or demon will jump over to you. So now you're establishing contact. Now they know you. They will come to your house. I said, oops, I forgot to tell you. See, my proof is she's gone. I don't see her anymore. Oh, she's in there? She's translating? How is the translation? Is she normal? So the one thing you ought to know, when you go to a funeral and you get emotional because of sympathy, remember I told you when you go to funerals, watch out for kids, because kids get emotional and then the ghosts and demons will jump over to them. Shh, don't tell others. But I think she looked out today. Okay, that's one thing I like to share with you. When you see crazy people, don't show sympathy, stay away from them, because the crazy ghost, the crazy demon can jump over you when you're sympathetic. You open the door. I saw it happen so often. So, just to close the story, if the ghost decides to jump over, we can kick it out. It's not a problem for us. Okay? But I think the demon was scared of the abbot and scared of her. She emits light. People don't see it, but she emits light. So the demon said, I'm not going over to you. Okay? All right. Anyone has any question? You think the cultivation is boring? No. Every day is fun for us. Yes, 8.
A시a를 thưa Thầy, is it Medicine Master Buddha protect us too?
What?
Medicine Master Buddha Black is protect us too?
We hope so. We don't know until it happens. Okay, anyone else? What are you afraid of when you cultivate?
No.
You follow instructions.
Not me.
Okay, I was joking a lot, actually, at lunch. And we just joke and, Try to entertain my nuns a little bit because I don't want them to write home and say, Master YongHua is so boring. All they do is cultivate and work. But it's funny, yeah. They went out and did their, told that person, that woman, to leave. Yes.
I'm not concerned about myself, but I'm concerned about my daughters. She have a friend that very depressed, take a lot of medicine, and because she feels sorry for him, so whenever she have, she cooks something special, then actually he's the friend of her boyfriend. So then...
She's what? She has a what?
The man that depressed is a friend of her boyfriend, very close.
The man what?
He depressed.
The man is a depressed guy who is a boyfriend. Her boyfriend is depressed.
No, the boyfriend is not, but a very close friend of her boyfriend.
Close friend of her boyfriend has depression.
Yes.
Okay.
So every time.
So that means the boyfriend is also depressed, I assure you. You befriend people who are depressed, you're going to be depressed. Very, very likely. Okay? That's life. So that's why I asked, is it, she have a medicine master Buddha Black, so is it affect her too? Well, it affects her a little, but so what? It's just like you live and you got contaminated by COVID-19 and so forth. Doesn't matter. We recover. It makes us stronger. Thank you. As long as you don't die, you become stronger. Is that what there is a very famous Western saying, what cannot kill me will make me stronger? Huh? Okay. Have no fear. No big deal. Yes, go Forrest.
Master, how does one feel, how does one turn off sympathy, and is that being less compassionate?
Compassion and sympathy, same thing. I mean, when you you feel sorry for them, you're opening the door. Basically that, I feel for you, I'm your friend, okay? And that's when you actually are inviting them to get close to you. Okay, that's what most people don't realize. There are other ways as well for them to come to us. But it doesn't matter. We're contaminated. It's no big deal. We cultivate and they run away. It's nothing to be afraid of. Okay? Contamination is like inhaling the COVID-19. They come in, we kill it. What are you afraid of? Okay, have no fear. I'm telling you these funny stories not to alarm you and so forth. It's just to tell you it's just life. Have no fear. That's all. People are blissfully ignorant about what's happening around them. I give you the example, COVID-19. When during the pandemic, everyone was frightened. And I had first-hand experience of COVID-19 in Wuhan. There's old man, I told you already, who was infected and was hospitalized for a week. It was getting worse and worse. The daughter asked me for help. So I fixed him right away, and within the 2 weeks, he recovered. So I knew firsthand. I have first-hand experience with the COVID-19 already. That's why when it spread to the U.S., I said, we're going to keep the temple available for people who want to come and ask for help. And because the situation is getting worse and worse, we would provide free help for anyone who would ask for it. Because it's destroying the economy, it's frightening people. People didn't care, didn't dare go anywhere, didn't dare even talk to each other and so forth. It's ridiculous. It's just a flu virus, albeit it's a little more powerful than a flu, but it's a variety of a flu. It's not a big deal. Okay? And so we help a lot of people. And it's just life. You're going to get infection from various sources, from all sorts of things. And we're constantly bombarded, invaded by foreign bodies, viruses, you name it. We just have to cultivate, and we expel them. We neutralize them. That's all. Yeah? It's not meant to frighten you, to make you run, live your life terrified of being infected and being jumped on by a depression ghost or a crazy ghost. If you are a good person, you have nothing to worry about. You don't do bad things. You don't do mean things. You don't harm others. Nothing bad's going to happen to you. Eventually you recover. That's your best defense, is to be a good person. If deep down you're not a good person, you'll not be able to recover. But if you're a good person deep down, you will recover and you will become stronger. Believe. So don't have to live frightened, okay? Have no fear. We have no fear because ultimately these demons, these beings, cannot harm us. They can only harm the people who are evil. They can only enter through the evil side of people. But the yang side will drive him out. That's all. There's no need to be afraid at all. Okay? For example, when you meditate, when you do Chan, you are creating a lot of yang qi, okay, which will expel and neutralize the yin qi in your body. And the yin qi is ghost, is demons. They will, if your yang qi is strong enough, they will have to run away. They cannot stay. Okay? That's all. Don't have to be afraid. Okay? But don't be arrogant either. Know your limitations. Isn't that a famous actor says, a man has got to know his limitations? No one knows. You're so Asian. You're so boring. I can't joke with you. You don't watch movies. You don't listen to music. You don't speak Vietnam. How am I supposed to greet you? Okay? You got to know that if you believe on the good side, you'll be helped. Okay? And fortunately for you, the way we train our people is kind of tough. That's why I try to spell it out for you when no one seems to understand. It's called American Chan, not Chinese Chan, because it's a lot tougher of a training than the Chinese style. The American Wei-Yang style is a lot tougher. I'll give you a number, 10 times tougher. But because of that, you will go a lot further, faster. Okay? I don't have a lot of time left. I don't have a lot of support. So that's why initially, until now, the last 20 years, we're very, very selective. People we don't have a lot of room, we don't have a lot of time, a lot of manpower, a lot of resources, and therefore we could only help a limited number of people. That's it. Okay? So that's why we throw out, discard people who don't believe, who are evil, who are, have a lot of more yin than yang, or they come in, they refuse, they still hide in the yin thinking they can outsmart me and so forth. We put up with them for a while, give them plenty of chances, eventually they're left on their own. We don't discriminate. We train everyone who's willing to endure the hard training. And some of these people actually got pretty high up there. And they left. And our people are so good that in less than a year, all the people who left are replaced easily and surpassed as well. So have no fear, just practice. Ours is to do good, to be good. It's no compromise. Okay? When we are in trouble and we have no friend, when you're in trouble, as a test for you to say, when I suffer, when I'm miserable, do I behave badly? Is it justifiable for me to punish and harm others because I'm treated unfairly, because I'm suffering so much? If this is the most important message for you today, and if you somehow find your heart to say, no matter what, okay, I will not harm anyone else. That's our first principle. It doesn't matter if they hurt me. It doesn't matter if they're unfair to me. I will not harm anyone. Then you deserve help. We will not abandon you, I assure you. But if you feel justified that because you're suffering, you can take it out on others, this is not for you. You don't belong here. Okay? That's the bottom line. We're not saying that everything will be okay, that you will not suffer and you'll be happy. It'll be a lot of challenges, a lot of suffering, but it's all designed to make you stronger and increase your faith in the Dharma. Okay? I run into this kind of test constantly. The whole time I've been doing this, it's that constantly I've been tested. Time and time again. And so what I chose, I said, I don't care. If I die tomorrow, I will not intentionally harm anyone just because it's unfair to me, just because my master abandoned me, just because my master is unfair to me. I don't care. Okay? And it turns out my teachers never abandoned me. So that's what I'm sharing with you. Okay? And after all these tests, the last 20 years, my faith only became stronger, not weaker. All right, Today, we're going to discuss one more YongHua anecdote because we won't have a chance to do that for quite a while. Okay, so let's do one YongHua anecdote. I don't have a whole lot of time. Anyone has any questions? Okay. Not speaking on about should I be nice today or should I be angry? Okay, 217. Why not? Okay, let me read the anecdote for you. Not speaking of before or after. Wait a minute, do I have time? Maybe, yeah, okay. Master YongHua was tending cattle on Wei Mountain. A head monk sat on top of the hundreds of millions of hares, appeared hundreds of millions of lions. Master YongHua did not reply. After he returned, he was standing by to attend to his master, Great Master Wei Shan. The head monk came in and bowed to the Great Master. Master YongHua brought up that was said earlier and asked him, "Did you say, on top of the hundreds of millions of hares appear hundreds of millions of lions?" Head monk replied, "Yeah." Master YongHua asked, "When they appeared, did these lions appear before or after the hare appeared?" Sorry, there's a typo here. The head monk replied, "Speaking of when they appeared is neither before nor after." And thereupon Master YongHua left. Ling Yo remarked, "Lion has broken its back." Okay, you got it? Of course, you got it. You know, you are the most fun Chan students group I have because, you know, I can talk to you about these anecdotes that you don't seem to be bored. Because, you know, what we're doing is really the first time people don't talk about this and don't discuss this at all. So we're all learning a lot from these anecdotes because we get a glimpse on how the Master Wei Shan and Master YongHua cultivated and taught their students. So Master YongHua was tending cattle on Wei Mountain. See, everyone worked in the temple. Okay, you carry your own weight. That's part of cultivation. All right, so you're here, and you during the tea here, and you get tired or you can't take it anymore, and then your cultivation is work. But if you cannot do it anymore, get up. It's okay for you, and I'm telling you that, to go out and help out in the kitchen, sweep the floor. And by the way, a lot of people clean up the yard and swept and blew dust on the grounds. I really appreciate that. Okay, it's very nice. That's adorning the way place. That's cultivation too, by the way. Okay, I assure you. It's just as important. Don't worry, you can't keep up with the schedule. Get up, go to work, contribute, do something with your time. That is cultivation. All right? So he's working. And they apparently had a lot of cattle. What are the cattle? What for? I have no idea. Maybe for plowing the fields or something. The head monk said, the head monk was the guy who's sort of like number two, who sort of like repeats Master Wei Shan's instructions to the students, to the residents, if you will. Okay, and hopefully he's smart enough to be able to interpret and clarify certain things that Master Wei Shan said to the students that the students could not get. So they'd go to this guy here and ask him when Master Wei Shan said that, what did he mean? And this guy will be able to answer them, okay? And hopefully if he can't, then he should refer them to Master Wei Shan, okay? So this guy came and he said, on top of hundreds of millions of hairs, be hundreds of millions of lions. This is from the Avatamsaka Sutra. Okay, this concept here, where there's lots of tiny and tiny hairs on your skin, especially on a buffalo, okay, skin. And so he says, on all those hairs there appear, each and every one of them would appear a lion. Okay, that's a so-called inconceivable state of the Avatamsaka Sutra. Okay, yeah. And so he said this, and Master Yang Shan didn't say anything. Okay, correct. He is your senior. The head monk is a senior. Okay, you're not supposed to argue with your senior. Okay, that's a proper behavior. Even if they're wrong, you shut up. You endure it. Okay? So Master Yang Shan disagreed, but he did not reply. After he went back, he was allowed, by the way, this is show that how high he was placed in the assembly. He was allowed to attend to Master Wei Shan. That's one of the rare positions in the temples where you serve the master. It's a big privilege to be able to do that. Okay, so that's a sign of this guy has, Master Wei Shan had something, okay, in store for Yang Shan, great Master Yang Shan. So he's allowed to attend to the master. All right, so it's a big deal, folks. Okay, which reminds me, Master YongHua, when he was alive, he would pick people. You come and stay with me, or help me for a few weeks, few months, and so forth. So he rotated people. I was told to be his attendant. Okay, and these people, I saw, some of these people, and I met some of his attendants, and they, not bad. Not high, but not bad. Okay, now looking back then I couldn't tell. Okay, so he was an attendant to Master Wei Shan. This is a privilege. Why? Because, like it or not, you carry a lot of baggage with you. And you like broadcasting like a radio. When you close to the master, your radio is blasting away, and the master, oh yeah. It's too much sometimes, okay? Your mind is so loud that it's like a radio at full blast. And when you stand next to your master, and the master would have a hard time concentrating on the conversation. Okay, so the head monk came in and bowed to the master for some kind of business. And Yang Shan, Master Yang Shan, grabbed the opportunity and said, you said earlier, may I ask, you said earlier that on top of hundreds of millions of hairs appear hundreds of millions of lions? Did you say that? Did you actually? Do you remember that? And the head monk said, of course, I said that. So Master YongHua said, when they appeared, these lions, is that before the hair appeared or after the hair appeared? And the head monk said, it's not about before and after. Okay, and so this is what people typically do when they read the Avatamsaka Sutra. They quote the Avatamsaka Sutra a lot like this. This is a state Avatamsaka Sutra, or in the Chan world, they said in Bang Layman, they would have a quote like, you put a sesame seed on top of each grass blade, okay? And so this is what is called so-called inconceivable state, okay? Inconceivable meaning that your thinking mind is say, wow, I can't imagine, okay? And so that shows you how limited your thinking mind really is. You cannot possibly grasp what is was being talked about. Okay, and so this is what the head monk was trying to impress. He said, I'm talking about inconceivable state for you. So basically, head monk was trying to impress YongHua, because basically, when you are into that state where you have hundreds of millions of lions on hundreds of millions of hair, you don't talk about it, idiot. It's not meant for you to talk about. It's for Buddhas to talk to bodhisattvas, not for an idiot to talk to another idiot. Am I clear enough for you? Okay. So this head monk here, his head monk is trying to impress YongHua. Okay, he's trying to impress the wrong guy, because apparently he saw Master YongHua was an attendant to Master Weishan, so he said, okay, so this guy has some potential there. The Master allowed him to be there to observe him, because you don't seem to understand. When you get to see the Master comportment, okay, you learn a lot more than you realize. If during this transit, and you see the Master sit there without moving, what are you supposed to do? Huh? You don't move either. So you resist the whole time. You resist. If you feel like moving forward, you don't move forward. You don't feel like scratching your nose, you don't scratch your nose. You don't move. Okay? Look at the Buddhas behind me. That's the posture. You see, you don't realize how blessed you are. In the Mahayana temple, we show you these Buddha statues in full lotus to tell you this is the best possible posture for you. You go to the Hinayana temple, it's only half lotus. That's the best posture for them. And you don't seem to appreciate it. We teach you full lotus. So sit in full lotus. And you see the Buddha there doesn't move. The Master doesn't move either. You don't move. And so, I'm not angry, I'm calm, I'm very calm. Okay? And so anyway, so this guy here saw Master YongHua being allowed near Master Weishan. That's why he's trying to impress this guy. Say, hey YongHua, you know what? This inconceivable state I can talk about. Okay? And the mistake this Shangzuo made was that YongHua recognized he's BSing. That's why, what did YongHua do? Okay, Master YongHua do? When he disagreed, he didn't say anything. You never make your superior lose face. You don't argue with them. This is part of the training, folks, especially for Sanghas. What is it, the appropriate expression? You eat caca. Okay? When your superior is wrong, you eat it. You don't complain. Okay? That's why YongHua did the right thing. He disagreed. Okay? He's minding his business. I came over, he's trying to impress him. He said some kind of nonsense. Okay? Because in a China world, if you come with the attitude of trying to impress others and speaking something to impress, like this, okay? This is how you do it. You don't say anything. If they're wrong, you don't say anything. You eat caca. Okay? You never fight with someone higher than you. And this is why I try to give hints to my people. I said, this girl, his woman, his nun, he will walk in front of you because he's your superior. Yeah? If you argue with her, okay, you lose blessings, and you will have a bloody nose if you get into a fight. But they don't seem to understand. They say, I'm a man, I walk in front of, a woman cannot walk in front of me. If you're a man, be a stronger man, then I allow you to walk in front of a woman. Now I have to get a woman to get in front of you because she needs to protect you. If you're a man and you're strong enough, you would not be stuck on a woman walking in front of you. I have plenty of women who walk in front of me, as well men and idiots walk in front of me. It never bothered me my entire life. Losers walking in front of me, never complained. And you're so stuck on men, woman, because the Buddha says a bhikshu walks in front of a bhikshuni. Baloney! Buddha's teaching is not that inflexible. After you become enlightened, there's no more gender. There's no more discrimination between male and female. You are unisex. When you're born in the Western Bliss Pure Land, you're unisex. There's no more men, no more women. And yet you're stuck on, I'm a man, I have to walk ahead of you. You're so weak, you need to walk ahead of someone. Otherwise, you feel less of a man. Or I met women who insisted on walking in front of me. I said, okay, walk in front of me. Because you need to walk in front of me to feel like you're a better woman than me. I have no problem with that. I'm a man. Okay? Yeah. So anyway, you don't fight, okay? You don't argue. But why did he bring up when he was with Master Weishan? Okay? It's constructive. This is what you admire. This is what's remarkable about Master YongHua. Master YongHua is very constructive. Okay? When you cultivate, it's not about right and wrong. It's about helping others. What is the matter with you? You always think, I'm better than therefore I walk in front of you, or I need to be recognized as better than you. No. When you cultivate, you help others when you can. And you can't help, you shut up. You eat caca. Okay? So when he's in the presence of Master Weishan, that's when YongHua corrected the other guy. He said, see, Master is here. Our Master is here. Would you mind telling me what you said to me a while ago? Is that correct? That's how I remember. He said, yeah. So Master YongHua said, explain that to me. He said, before, after, when aligned. And the other guy, of course, this is what you use. This is what the head monk, his reply is based on intellect. It's neither before or after. Okay? Again, Of course, you don't understand that. It doesn't matter. I just want to tell you that to Master Yang Shan, Master Wei Shan, they both saw this guy. Okay, and he used an intellect. He says, it's neither before and after. There's no time element, whatever. And therefore, Master Yang Shan left. He said, I disagree with you. This is how you behave in our world. When you disagree, you're still respectful. But this is very constructive comportment. He never made a face. He never gave dirty looks. He just walked out and said, okay, I disagree with you. You have nothing to offer me. Wake up, okay? You're not fooling me. Cut it out. And then that's why Master Wei Shan confirmed Master Yang Shan's point. This is Master Yang Shan brought up the anecdote in front of their masters in order to get verification for the master that Master Yang Shan is correct and the other guy is a phony. You have to stop doing that, okay? Because one day when you teach Chan and you repeat verbatim things you read others you don't really understand just because it sounds good, because it's from the Avatamsaka Sutra, one day you run into someone who looked at you and said, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, that moment there, okay, you lose your credibility. That's it. You're done. Okay? Because Chan is the cultivation of the truth. You don't have to fake it. You don't have to impress people. You don't have to impress me. You don't have to impress anyone at all. You have to be true to yourself. And in order to be true to yourself, you start by being good. Being good will lead you to being true to yourself. If you're evil, you cannot be true to yourself. I guarantee you. I've seen it. I've seen it in my master's temples. I've seen them all. Okay? If your heart harbors in things, it's very hard for you to be true to yourself. When the test comes, you will bend and compromise ourselves. It's exactly what this guy did. He's not true, even though he knew a lot and he'd been around, but he's not a true person. That's why he resorted to intellect. He says, oh, it's not about time. What I talk to you is not about time. And thereupon, Master Yang Shan, okay, left to tell both of them, Master Wei Shan and this head monk, that this guy is BSing. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And he dared BS in front of the master. When you learn from your master and you try to pull wool of master's eyes and try to impress master's eyes and try to speak nonsense in front of the master, boy, are you in trouble? You should rethink your cultivation. That's exactly what Master Yang Shan did for the head monk. He says, you think about it. How dare you? You could try to impress me, but you cannot speak nonsense in front of the master. You see, this is great anecdote because it's how constructive Master Yang Shan was. That's why later he was allowed to detach and start teaching when Master Wei Shan was still alive, because Master Yang Shan was a very, very caring and constructive teacher. This is what teachers are supposed to do, folks. Help others. They have nothing to prove for themselves. You slander them, you criticize them, big deal. Because then it's not about them, it's about what they do for us. And Master Yang Shan demonstrated that already. He said, it's not about me disagreeing with you, but I want you to think about how you can say this nonsense in front of your own master. And Master Lingyo immediately chimed in. He says, he agreed and said, lion has broken his back. Meaning what? Which lion are we talking about? See, the Chan people, they speak in double language. Okay, the lion is broken in the back, he's here. Okay, it's of course in reference to the lines and the hair that the other guy is talking about. But actually, he's referring, Master Lingyo here, it's extremely ingenious. He says, the lion here refers to the king of the beast who speaks Dharma. When you speak Dharma, you are like a lion who roars, and therefore, when you speak Dharma, it's like a lion's roar. The other beasts are frightened, are scared, okay, because it is the truth that they're scared of. All right? And so here the lion refers to the head monk has broken its back. Okay? The head monk failed miserably. He's no longer a lion. See how subtle the Chan teaching is. At that level, okay, you see, the teaching is very respectful, very caring. He says, not about, if I were to tell you, Yang Shan was thinking, if I were to tell you I disagree with you, you be defensive, you argue with me. And it's not about me arguing, me being wrong. It's about what is it you think you're doing here for your master? It's such a beautiful lesson. What do you think, sir, what are you doing here for your master? What kind of Chan do you think you're teaching your master's students? So stop speaking nonsense. It's very sad for me to see that even Master Lingyo had to depend on a head monk who is not enlightened. And he was the head monk. He was the substitute teacher, the one who answers questions. See how difficult it is to teach. So even a great teacher like Master Lingyo, his second in command was not enlightened. That's how difficult it is to train enlightened people. So he's there, basically the guy was there to help administrative and beginners and have the proper comportment, deportment, and so forth. But actually, he couldn't teach Chan, and that's okay too. Okay. But there's a damage in that. Is eventually Master Yang Shan had to detach because of the bad damages of this bad monk who was spreading among Master Wei Shan's disciples. So Master Yang Shan had to spread out, detach, split up, and go somewhere, start afresh, where he can build a proper foundation. Then his students will progress quicker than without being tampered with by this head monk. Got that? Okay. So Master Lingyo is cool. And he says, okay, your back has been broken. So Master Lingyo is so cool as well. He says, I know you tried. Okay? But know there's someone better than you. So they're all very, very constructive folks. No harm at all. Look at how beautiful it is, how caring they are. They're trying to help this guy. They're not ridiculing him at all. So constructive of a teaching. So beautiful. Thank you everyone for allowing me to share this with you. Okay, we stop here today.